Should we start over?
Go.
Okay, so, hi, I'm Brooke, and this is Mr. Sousa, principal of Nottingham School. So, Mr. Sousa,
Hi, Brooke.
how would you describe the job of a principal?
How would I describe the job of a principal? You know, to me, you wear many hats as a principal. It's a very complex job, but I would say that it's kind of a project manager, where you're managing all these different these pieces in order to make sure that all of our students are learning and engaged, and our teachers have everything they need, and that the community feels good about the job that we're doing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite part of being a principal?
To me, I would say it's twofold. I really enjoy interacting with the teachers and the parents, the community a lot. And certainly, I enjoy when we have, do positive things in the building where we're acquiring new technology or new books and things. But overall, my most favorite part of the day, whenever I'm having a tough day, I like going and sitting in classrooms. I love listening to the teachers teach and the kids ask questions. That's what energizes me.
So, from that, I kind of understood your favorite part is getting to see the kids learn.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, is it hard to keep track of everything that happens here at school?
Well, thankfully, we have a lot of people. So it's not something that I have to do just myself. You know, Mrs. Schaff, Mrs. Zablisky, of course, Mr. Horwich, Mr. Chauvet, and all the teachers. We do a great job talking to each other and communicating with each other. So I think it's hard. It's a challenging job to keep track of everything, but there's many hands, and you know what they say, many hands make light work.
Okay. What do you think is the most important thing that you do as a principal?
That's a good question, Brooke. The most important thing I do as a principal?
Yes.
I think the most important thing I do as a principal is showcase the learning that we do and to show people that learning is important. Some buildings call principals a leading learner in a sense.
Okay.
And I think making sure that it's important to understand how we learn and how much learning goes on in the building, I think that's my number one job.
Cool. So what made you want to be a principal at Nottingham School?
At Nottingham School, well, so before I was a principal here, I had been a principal in a few other schools, but I had decided because my family was young, I wanted to go back in the classroom and teach. It gave me some time to, coach my kids and be a good dad and a good husband. And we were driving around, and I had found out we lived next door, the town next door. We were driving around, and a friend of mine who lives in Nottingham at the time said, "Hey, we have an opening for the principalship. You should all think about it." And so, I know, it was perfect. We took a ride by the school, and we had such a wonderful feeling. Living in Vermont before coming here, we were living in a town that had about 2,000 people, tops.
Whoa.
So it was very small. And we got that same sense, that same feeling of that small town care and camaraderie here in Nottingham that we had in Vermont. My wife just looked at me because, "I think you should do it. This seems like such a wonderful town." And it was. I mean, I stopped being off at Liars and talking to people and having morning coffee. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a great place to plant myself.
So, what job did you want to have before you became our principal?
Oh, well, this is all I ever wanted. But before I was in education, you mean? Like way when I was younger?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, what job did I want? When I was a kid, I used to dream about being a fireman, an attorney, a lawyer, and I never dreamed of being an educator. That kind of came up naturally. I have been a firefighter, though, so I was able to do that.
Wait, you were a firefighter?
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
An EMT and a firefighter. That was a lot of fun. I've not been a lawyer, although I did, get accepted at law school. But I decided last minute that I wanted to be around people, and I wanted to be around kids in particular. I did some part-time teaching and said this is where my calling is going to be.
Cool. So, how do you raise money to buy everything the school needs? I know for one, there's the move-a-thon, and then about the other things.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of fundraising here and there between different clubs and activities. The PTA does the One Big Move-a-thon, and they raise a lot of money thanks to our students and the community to provide students with all kinds of extracurricular and other activities and other materials. But schools function because our community, every community member who lives here in town, pays taxes to support the town. And they support the fire, the police, and the schools, right? The town center, all that gets supported by the community. And I will say that this community has been exceptionally generous, and I feel very blessed that they've been able to see our budget through, vote on it, and pass it in recent years. And it's been wonderful. It's great to see the kind of support that we get from the community.
Okay, and then for the last question, because recently you were handing out, or you weren't handing out, but there was a sheet that went home with the students that said what their strengths are, what they need to work on, their classroom things. So my last question is, do you think it is important that students have a teacher that is perfect for them?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I'm not sure any teacher is perfect, right? Because we're teachers and we're people, and we always have a little glitch. But I think that I think at the same time, every teacher would do a great job with any student because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But that being said, so we think nobody's perfect and everybody does a great job. Somewhere in the middle, you want to make sure that you have students and teachers who connect.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's important to have a teacher who knows how to teach reading and writing and arithmetic, it's important to have a teacher who can connect with you. I've always believed as an educator that if you don't know that I care about you, you're not going to care about learning.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the most important thing that teachers have to do is connect with their kids. Kind of like I think one of the most important things we do is to make sure that learning's happening. I guess maybe the most important thing I do is to make sure everyone knows that we're caring about each other.
Okay. So, thank you for your time, Mr. Sousa.
Oh, absolutely. This has been my pleasure. You did a great job, Brooke.
Thank you.
This is fun, and thank you to everybody who helped put this together.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.